Welcome to Robot House. It's Halloween, and you know what that means. We're going to do movies. We're going to try to do something better next year, everyone, I promise. I don't know. We still got two more shows for Halloween. So next week is Candy, which should be some lively discussion. This week, though, we're going to do movies. So we each picked about 2 or 3 movies. And we'll go through them, explain why they're perfect for Halloween viewing, and we'll go from there. So, first up, I picked E.T., a horror movie about an alien that comes from space, takes control of a little boy, forces him to feel emotions that the alien is feeling, and experience death, all while manipulating him to build a controller so that his race can come and take over our planet.
Jason, I'm pretty sure that's not what Steven Spielberg had in mind.
His intent is not what I saw in that movie. Not a controller, a phone, by the way. Not a controller. Anyway, if you'll notice, the government did not roll in and attempt negotiations with this creature. It went in there with guns, or walkie-talkies, depending on your version, and tried to kill it. And they succeeded, but because he had used the Force or something, and they are Jedis, they're in Star Wars, he had put his soul in Elliot and allowed his body to regenerate. That's right. And then he touched him one more time so he'd have another backup.
He was copying himself with the copy jutsu.
Yes, exactly.
He's a ninja, Harry.
He's like, what's Sesshomaru? That's not Naruto. The snake guy. I don't care about Orochimaru. He put himself in Elliot. There's a copy of him in Elliot, and when he comes back to Earth, he'll be ready.
So he's a Horcrux.
Yes. It's actually a very apt analogy. People think I'm crazy, but I've met other people who think E.T. is a scary movie.
How is E.T. scary?
Look, I don't know. Listen, I don't know how people can say he's not scary. He is horrifying.
Well, he looks cute. Different. That's the thing, sure.
He doesn't look cute. He doesn't act cute. He makes a little boy drunk. Lures him into a shed.
Well, he's just a pervert.
I'm just telling you.
That's just horrifying.
Learns English really damn fast. Super intelligent.
Well, the side of his head ought to make that pretty obvious.
Has crazy psychic powers. He's a Sith. Just saying.
Definitely something.
Nostalgia Critic agrees with me. I know he does. Okay. Next up is what some would say is an actual scary movie, Halloween.
There's nothing really scary about it. Well, not to me, anyway.
Now, of course, if you're not familiar with it, Halloween is the story of the pumpkin that created Halloween. Right?
What?
No? No, okay, no. So there is some history. I know a little bit about the Halloween movies. The original intention was it was going to be an anthology series, and each one was set on Halloween with a different theme. The only one that actually did this was Halloween 3. Then they went right back to Michael Myers.
Yep.
Which some would argue was a mistake. Though Halloween 3 wasn't a horror movie, it was more of a bad episode of Outer Limits.
I don't think I've ever seen 3.
3 is the one where an evil Celtic wizard puts a microchip in his masks for Halloween. It becomes the most popular mask company in America. for the sole purpose of killing every child in America that celebrates Halloween.
Jeez.
As a mass sacrifice to some god.
Freaking Irish aren't that crazy. They're just drunk. What is
None
wrong
of
with
it
this
makes
guy?
sense. There's robots and the lasers turn your face into spiders and snakes. And
that sounds hilarious. I gotta see this now.
it doesn't make any. It is really a weird movie, Pat. You would enjoy the hell out of it.
Oh my god, it sounds terrible.
It is terrible.
Oh
and
man.
then their big plan is to activate the microchips through a commercial. And this is the only thing that's prescient because toys do that now.
Oh yeah.
But they'd activate when they're watching a commercial on Halloween. It aired at like 8 o'clock. Who is going to be home at 8 o'clock?
Nobody's going to be home at 8 o'clock. They're going to be out.
And the hero manages to... I'm sorry we're derailing this for Halloween 3 talk, but it's just so ridiculous. The hero, quote-unquote hero, is an alcoholic doctor. He manages to stop every TV channel but one from airing the commercial. And it ends with him going, no. And really, all you have to do is say that it's going to kill 1 billion kids. And they stop airing it, but most of them didn't. It's just so dumb. But about Halloween, Pat, the original.
Yes. Oh, you're talking about me.
I've never seen it.
Oh, yeah, well...
I know of it, but...
The essential story... Oh, for the love of all that is holy. I'm sorry, I'm just laughing about freaking Halloween 3
stuff. It is really dumb. It's barely a horror movie.
Oh my god. I'm sorry, man. Give me a goddamn second. I'm really not trying to laugh at this.
I know.
This whole concept behind that story is...
I'm not even going into detail. There's so much nonsense in that movie. They do, there's a girl through half the movie who's the heroine, and then she was a robot the whole time. Oh, he killed Pat.
Oh, God, okay. Okay, time out. It's the same guy who directed the first one to direct the third one, too, because...
No, it's not John Carpenter.
Oh, no,
like I said, it's an anthology series, so they were going to get a different director. Trust me, this was not ever at any point supposed to be a horror movie.
Signed up for this in the first place.
It's ridiculous, man. I know it's not a horror movie because it sounds like something I would watch. I've only ever listened to podcasts talk about it. And that's how I know the movie so well, because it's like the best Halloween to rag on, apparently.
Oh my god, okay. Oh, okay, hang on. Okay, I think I'm ready now, man.
Okay. Regular Halloween, that.
Oh. Okay, yeah, basically this is a story about a young Michael Myers who, way back in the past as a young child, stabbed his sister to death with a kitchen knife. So, they lock him up, naturally, in a sanitarium. He escapes from said sanitarium when they were going to take him to court for the hearing to lock him up for life because he's crazy.
Yeah,
naturally.
Of course, why would he need to be there for that? But
right.
Well, he just need to talk to his doctor.
Right. Yeah. So he goes on a killing spree, mainly out of because he's a nutcase.
Yeah.
But first guy he kills when he gets out is a mechanic. And he steals his clothes. Mm-hmm. He goes back home, and he steals the iconic white mask that he gets, that you see him the whole time, which is a mask of William Shatner, evidently. But that's what basically the mask they did for the movie. They took a Star Trek James Kirk mask and painted it white.
Huh.
So yeah. So he goes back home. He starts. Whew, oh God, I'm sorry. He starts stalking a couple of kids at the local high school. I'm really sorry. I'm still thinking about that old movie.
It's fine, Pat. Just why don't we move on? I think we covered.
His psychiatrist also goes back to his hometown to go try to stop him because he anticipates him going back there. Because, he's a psychopath.
Yeah.
So he meets up with the local sheriff and all that other stuff. He goes to his old house. They go watch his house, think he's going to show up there. Oh, my God. Oh. Ooh. Okay. Essentially, all this stuff starts happening where he goes crazy. It starts... He's a nutcase.
Yeah.
I laugh most of this movie because it just doesn't make any sense whatsoever. He's obviously disturbed. He goes off trying to start killing kids, wearing this mask and wearing this freaking mechanic's uniform. Just walking everywhere he goes.
Well, he drives cars and stuff, right?
Yeah, he does. That's how he gets back to the town and stuff. But, he never really runs after anybody. He just walks. Essentially, he kills a bunch of kids. They think he's the boogeyman and stuff like that. I don't actually remember what happens in this. I usually laugh really hard at certain parts of it because they're all trying to run away from him. He's not really running after. Oh, I just remember at the end where they think he's dead when he falls off the balcony. They look down over the balcony. His body's not there anymore. It's meant to be scary, yes. But to me, that movie's never really scary. It's just really funny. He's just a psychopathic maniac. I guess he just really wanted to kill more people because they don't really explain anything like that. Why he does that? It's just that he's a psychopath the whole time wearing that freaking mask. But basically, this is a low-budget film when it came out. Only it took like $300,000 to make or something like that. But it did pretty well in the theaters.
Yeah, there's like 6 Halloween movies, aren't there?
Yeah. Oh my God.
Isn't there one where it's in space or something?
No, you're thinking of Friday the 13th.
Yeah, that's
Space
different.
X.
That's
Oh my God! I'm sorry. I didn't tell you.
That's fine.
Why'd you tell me about Halloween 3?
I thought it was relevant. So what we're gonna do?
Oh my God!
Give you a break, and Steve, why don't you talk about the Cowboy Bebop movie?
Let me mute my mic.
So it had been a really long time since I watched it, but while we were kind of doing this, I looked at a summary, so I am remembering it a little bit better now. So I know it was the whole deal was there was this guy who was trying to kill, I guess, the whole human population on Mars, and he was going to spread some kind of virus. And he had this whole plan where during this Halloween parade that these jack-o'-lantern balloons were going to explode and spread the virus. Yes. So that was kind of the whole concept of just trying to stop him.
Yeah, I remember that now.
Yeah.
Whew.
But that's probably as far as I can go.
No, that's fine. I still remember it pretty well. I don't think I've watched it recently, but I definitely I've seen it enough times. Basically, it's a way to wrap up the series, even though technically it happens, I think, 3 or 4 episodes before series officially ended.
Yeah, I saw that in here. It says between 22 and 23.
Yeah, essentially.
And it's more about Spike as a character. I think he gets a lot of himself resolved in this movie. Because Vincent, in a lot of ways, is a lot like him, stuck in the past, and Vincent is literally stuck in the past. I mean, they stop it, they release the cure and all that. The Halloween theme, it has to be on purpose, but I've never really dissected the movie that much. It's just really fun to watch. Some of the best animated fight scenes I've seen.
Indeed.
Because usually when Spike fights, he's like dominates.
Mm-hmm.
But except Vincent is like, Vincent is like a slab of meat. Just beats the crap out of Spike every time they fight.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing. It's worth noting that's the only movie. The movie only got made because of America, which is sad that Japan doesn't really appreciate the series as much as we do. But I can see why.
I really enjoyed it, and you know what? The whole time I've been watching those, episodes, I figured the series was longer, but it's only like 26 episodes.
No, it does. Yeah. It does exactly what it wants to do.
Yeah.
In a really short time frame.
Yeah. It just felt like, whenever I watched it, and it felt like it was longer, but it never was.
Yeah.
That fact always surprised me, but it's a really good show. And I did enjoy that movie. I forgot more about it than I remember, but then Steve pretty much reminded me. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. It did have a Halloween theme to it.
It's also the closest they ever got to showing Faye naked. It was such a purposeful cock tease.
Mm-hmm.
I love that so much because I remember at the time, this is early internet, people were so pissed they really couldn't see the whole thing. I'm like, that wasn't really the point of the scene,
Mm-hmm.
Because it's actually really dark when you think about it, the implication of what he was going to do to her. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, it's really Spike's movie. And I don't know, I guess Halloween does fit Spike. There's a fun subplot with Ed running around trick-or-treating.
Yep.
I doesn't have much to do in the movie, though.
Not at all.
Sad.
Yeah. He's a dog, so...
Well, yeah, but usually he does something silly. But he's just on Ed's head for most of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Though I can see they're the characters that have the least amount of stuff to do when it gets serious. And that's why that's why they got rid of them towards the end of the series.
Yeah.
Because Vincent would have just killed them.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a good movie, and it's easy to forget that it's Halloween themed. It's really it's worth it. Hard to track down. Very hard to track down. It's not in the box set because it was released by a film company, not Bandai. So it's very hard to find the movie. Hopefully at some point Funimation will be able to get it, but I doubt it. So let's move on. Next up, I have Halloween is Grinch Night. This is, I'm sure most people our age have seen this, right?
What?
No, you've never seen it?
I can't recall ever seeing anything called that.
Really?
I don't believe I have either.
Huh. Well, Steve, you're a little younger than me and Pat, so I didn't think. But still, that's odd. Basically, it's not like set in the same world as The Grinch That Stole Christmas. It's, how to put this? Basically, a certain set of conditions. Actually, let me look it up. It's the way it's set up is really neat. I'll cut this out of the show. Come on. Let's see. Halloween is Grinch Night. Let's see if it has the whole thing. Yeah, the Grinch is even drawn really weird. I don't have it, damn it. Hold on, I'm gonna find this. I might have to. Okay, let's have this pick speech. It's like, this is weird. Sorry this is taking so long. I'll just say script. Damon Wayans, ugh. Okay, I found it. We're back. Sorry for that. Okay, so basically, Grinch Night is when a sour, sweet wind blows, and it sets off a bunch of animal calls that annoy the Grinch, who then goes into Whoville and scares all the Who's. And it follows a Who named Euchariah, who can't be scared, apparently, because he has a poor vision.
So he's Mr. Magoo.
Well, sort of. It's implied that he sees everything, but that he's just not scared by it. So basically, Grinch and Max come along in this big thing called the Paraphernalia Wagon, which I don't know if they thought about that name very long.
That sounds.
And Euchariah is there, and he decides to stop the Grinch from getting to Whoville. And basically, the first 2 times the Grinch just pushes him aside. And then the third time, the Grinch is like, okay, that's it. You get the full thing. Tosses him in the wagon. Yep, and it's basically the tunnel sequence from Willy Wonka.
Oh, God.
It's really freaky. But it's in a good way. Like, it'd scare a little kid, but it's interesting to watch as an adult. And it's basically Euchariah stops him long enough for the sour wind to stop. And then the Grinch decides to go back to his cave. And Max decides to stay with Euchariah. And he goes back to Whoville, and everyone's happy.
Especially Max.
Well, yeah, but again, this isn't the same Grinch from Saving Christmas.
No, I know.
There's no canon, as it were. It's not long. I think it's like 20 minutes. It's worth watching, especially if you like Dr. Seuss, and who doesn't? A little scarier for younger kids, though. I wouldn't push it too much. But if they're like 7 or 8, they'll enjoy it. Oh, okay, so. There you go, friendship ribbons, yay. Next up is Nightmare on Elm Street. You good to go, Pat?
Yes, I'm good now. The basic story behind Nightmare on Elm Street is it's basically about these teenagers getting killed in their dreams, and because they're being killed in their dreams, they're dying in real life.
Yes.
The reason why they're being killed in their dreams...
Nobody seems to want to tell them why they're being killed in their dreams.
Yes. Yeah, there's a big secret in town as to know why no one's really telling them why all these kids are dying. They basically are being cursed from beyond the grave by this supernatural being named Freddy Krueger. He He basically goes into he's basically cursed the children of the people in this town after they trapped him into this horrible accident that they trapped him in a.
Then they lynch him and burn him alive.
Burn him alive, yeah.
For being a pedophile.
Yeah. So and he declared that he was going to get his revenge on their children. And so that's pretty much what he does. He goes into these kids' dreams, does pretty much horrific things to them. Yeah, disembowelment, slashings, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Basically kills them in their dreams, and of course they die in real life in the process because he's no longer alive. He's basically some sort of evil spirit.
Yeah.
So they can't really do anything about it. Okay.
That's it? Okay. Well, I mean, I think we're all familiar with Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah, they basically he was put away because
he's a camp horror icon.
they told him a child murderer, released on a technicality for the thing, so they all did vigilante justice on him.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's probably the one thing I think the studio wishes they could get rid of with Freddy.
Yeah.
Because eventually people started to like him.
Yeah.
Which
well,
is,
I think that has more to do with the character.
Yeah, with the jokes and stuff. But when you
that Robert
realize you're rooting for a pedophile.
Yeah.
Kind of.
It's because the casting was done really well.
Yeah.
Freaking Wes Craven.
He has an interesting filmography, Wes Craven.
He does, really.
I don't know.
I always forget that that's the first movie that Johnny Depp did too.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, Wes Craven.
Yeah, thanks, Wes Craven.
I wonder if he came in with like a ridiculous teenager outfit. Like
hello, fellow teenagers.
That's Steve Buscemi.
I know. That's why I was just thinking that.
He would have been like 23, so it still works. So, hello, fellow teens. I'm on 21 Jump Street. You know, he wanted to do a cameo in the movie.
Yeah. Oh my god. I really do like this movie only because of the jokes and stuff like that. Robert Englund really makes this movie. That was probably the best possible person they could have gotten to play Freddy Krueger.
Freddy, he was kind of typecast after that.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but he does really good made-to-TV movies, and he does really good episodes of things like, the hell's the name of that show? Come on, Patrick, you can do this. Criminal Minds, right?
Yeah.
Oh, man. He's been in a lot of weird stuff, man.
Yes.
A lot of weird stuff.
Okay, now, next up, Steve has, I wasn't sure of the title, I just put a pre-cure Halloween movie.
Yeah, it's, each year there's the All-Stars movie, which is kind of like the big team up of all the Precure, and then they have their own, because each show has 1 year run, and they get their own movie that's just that specific team. So last year was the Go Princess Precure movie, and it was actually not only completely Halloween themed, but the opening day was October 31st. So, I mean, that was clearly the intention. So it was the first time that they've ever done this, though, that they did it as a 3-part movie where it was kind of 2 mini movies, one at the beginning and one at the end, and then the main movie in the middle. It's kind of weird, but I mean, each of them had a kind of a theme to them. Like the first one had these ghosts in this mirror that, I don't know, it was just kind of like a little goofy thing that it wasn't very long. And then the main movie, though, it's like this Pumpkin Kingdom, and there's this guy who was the minister that took over, and he was trying to, he had this whole obsession with collecting things, and he wanted to collect the Precure. And
He's basically the collector.
They had found the princess of the kingdom who had been hidden away in this tower, and then they had to save her and fight the guy. So it wasn't really anything you would expect outside of the ordinary for just your typical kids movie. But I mean, it was still kind of cool with the whole Halloween theme, at least. That I don't know. They even had the power-up form that was specifically for the movie alone. That they had this pumpkin form that they transformed into. So that was another little added thing for the pumpkin stuff, I guess. I don't know. There's not a whole lot to say about it, but
don't they do that with Kamen Rider and Power Rangers? I remember, I think it was Forze where he teamed up with them, and then he had a giant, like, I forget what they're called. Whatever powers him up, he had a giant one for their Zord.
Oh, well, yeah, they have the crossover movies for them, but there's the superhero Tizen movies, what they're called. And yeah, they used to be just Kamen Rider team-ups, but then they started putting Sentai in there with them too, so.
Huh. That's neat.
Actually, the new one that's coming up, it's going to air in December, is the new Kamen Rider X-Aid is all based around video games, and the enemy is Dr. Pac-Man.
Oh, that should be interesting.
It just kind of reminds me of that Pixels movie or something.
I guarantee you that's exactly why.
That actually would be pretty funny. Oh my.
Okay. So, next up. Hold on one sec. Man, I still have accessories. What is with this game? Okay. Sorry. Next up is Gremlins.
Don't feed them after midnight.
Yes, don't give them water. Don't feed them after midnight. They are not very specific when you can feed them, but we'll get around to it. They don't like sunlight. Everyone remembers the Gremlins commercials, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's those three things repeated. And then they show Gizmo, and you're like, well, why wouldn't I want to feed him after midnight? I'll tell you why. Because Gizmo is the genetic anomaly, and Gremlins are horrible. That's horrible. Basically, this traveling salesman is in New York, and he finds this shop in Chinatown, and in it he finds a gremlin. The old man who works there won't sell it to him, and he shouldn't. But his grandson, who's an idiot, feels that's not a problem. It should be noted they're not called gremlins; they're actually called mogwai.
Mm-hmm.
But when they get to town, people decide to call them gremlins. After, well, you'll see. So he gives Gizmo to his son. Gizmo because he sells gizmos. It's cute. And Gizmo's a cool little dude. He doesn't do anything bad. But he, like all gremlins, after midnight, he will start begging for food. I think they don't feed him.
Mm-mm.
But they accidentally drop some water on him, and that creates the villain for this movie. Is it Spike or Mohawk?
I don't remember.
Well, it's the second movie. I think it's Mohawk. I think it's Mohawk in this movie because he has that fin when he turns into a gremlin. So they spill water on him, and he becomes. What happens when a gremlin gets wet is they sexually reproduce.
Yes.
Depending on the amount of water available. So they sprinkle some on Gizmo, and Spike is born. I'll just use them interchangeably. I think it's Mohawk, though. It's been a while since I saw the movie. And they give him to somebody else. Then the dad decides, oh, hey, I can sell these. With these very specific conditions to not do. But, of course, Spike eventually begs for food. He gets fed, and he becomes this, oh my god, he becomes a monster. Gremlins, after they eat after midnight, lose all their fur, grow about 3 feet, and become what we would probably call goblins, would be more accurate.
Mm-hmm.
But but yeah, basically then he goes around town freeing the other gremlins that have been sold and feeding them, and they start to just take over the town. Then it becomes a typical horror movie. They start killing all the characters you hate.
Yeah.
And then the son, his girlfriend, and Gizmo basically have to clean up house. You get to see gremlins die in a lot of hilarious ways. Then partway through the movie, the girlfriend has the stupidest monologue in the world where she explains she hates Christmas because her father dressed up as Santa and died trying to go down the chimney.
Wow.
Yeah. No one would have seen him do it, by the way. He was asleep. Everyone was asleep. So she's actually mad that her father's a moron. And actually, it's still in the film. It's such a bad monologue. With the actor playing the boyfriend, Judd, I think it's Judge Reinhold. I think it's Judge Reinhold. He breaks character, and they had to leave it in the movie because he could not keep a straight face. You can find it on YouTube, the monologue. It's infamous. They make fun of it in the sequel where she's afraid of President's Day.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And he just pulls her off the screen. Come on, honey, we gotta go. Eventually it's down to them versus Mohawk. And basically they light him on fire, and then he jumps in a friggin' bird fountain, and you're like, oh shit.
Mm-hmm.
But just as he's about to release God knows what, because we've never seen a fully transformed gremlin breed, the sun comes up and vaporizes him.
Mm-hmm.
It's worth watching this movie. I've just skimmed over the plot, basically, but it's really good. Then the old guy comes back and takes Gizmo. He looks at the son and says, maybe someday you'll be able to take care of him. Your father's an idiot, though. Yeah, it's the second one is unique and worth watching, but the first one is really a good movie. And for a while, you could get a Gizmo Furby.
Mm-hmm. It was available.
Yes. It's you can watch it anytime, but I think Halloween's the best time. The fact that it's set during Christmas is kind of irrelevant. Except that the snow adds a little, because they crawl under the snow and pull people in and stuff. That helps it a little. Okay, so next up, Black Christmas.
That's a pretty good segue then. Because obviously from the name of this film, this takes place during Christmas.
Yes.
Basically, this is a really bad, really bad B-rated film that they try to pass off as a horror movie. The plot is pretty god-awful. Essentially, there's this there's this kid who he basically looks like he has jaundice. Okay, yeah. He's yellow. He has yellow eyes, and he's locked up in his room all the time. Essentially, he gets into an incestuous relationship with his mother. It's terrible, man. They don't really explain that part on there. It's just that it happens, and she ends up having another daughter. Essentially, so it's him. Mother dies later on, somewhere in that point, and his sister. They fast forward a little bit, where there's crazy. They're out looking for their family, essentially, because that's the whole point, that they want to have their family, because they didn't really have the opportunity. I can't remember exactly how his mother died. I think he ended up killing his father, though. It was accidental. But I've only seen this movie once, and I did go to the theater to see it. I pretty much laughed my ass off a lot of the time. Okay, essentially, they fast forward it to a university setting. They're in I believe it's a sorority house or something. It might not be that. It might just be a dormitory. Yes, I think it's a dorm. Okay. So, female dormitory, they have a house mother and all that stuff. The crazy dude kid, he's in a sanatorium or something, ends up breaking out by tricking the guard into thinking that he's not in the cell. When he goes in there to get him, he ends up attacking him from above because he's hanging up on the ceiling. He goes up there and kills him and escapes. Go back to the thing. These people are dying in some of the most hilarious ways. He's not really killing them in a real way, like not like with a knife or shooting him or anything like that. They realize something's going on in the house, so they try to leave. I think at this point he's killed a couple of people, 2 or 3 people, but they all get into the car and was going to leave. The lady, the door manager or whatever, gets up, gets outside. It's snow on the ground because it's Christmas time.
Yeah.
She looks up at the garage because something makes a noise, and an icicle comes down and crashes and stabs her in the eye.
Ooh.
And that's how she dies.
Not a fan of
that. Okay. He chases them back. They're in the car. I think he gets in one too, something like that. Chases them down. They go into his old house, I think. No, that was his old house. That's why he went back there. That's right. That place that ends up being a dormitory was his old house. That's why he went back in there. Okay. That's what it was. It's been such a long time I've seen it. It's just really funny because of the stuff that happened. So anyway, he starts chasing them around. They end up going somewhere. Public building. Nobody's in there because it's Christmas. You get the idea.
Yeah.
Kills one other person. The last person left. He tells her, "You're my family now." And she ends up hitting him in the face with an iron. And scalds his face, and he falls off the balcony and ends up getting impaled by the Christmas tree in the lobby.
Jesus,
this is pretty much my life movie because it's just ridiculous ways of dying. I know they end up killing him at that point. She goes to the hospital. She's in there talking to the doctor, her boyfriend, whatever. They leave. Somebody comes into the room, and it's the sister of the crazy dude. Also looks like she has jaundice and stuff. Yellow eyes, yellow skin. She tells him, "You're my family now." She ends up killing her with the defibrillator machine, and that's pretty much how the movie ends. It's really bad, man.
Yes.
So because of how these people die. They don't really die normally. It's just random crap that happens, and that's the things I remember about it. Is he getting impaled by the Christmas tree? She dying with a defibrillator, and the lady getting stabbed right through the eye by an icicle. It's like, oh God. It's not really. It's I guess it's considered a horror movie. It's not really a Halloween movie because it takes place at Christmas. But I thought it was one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life. But I enjoyed it immensely because it was so damn funny. You gotta understand, Jason.
Yeah.
These horror movies aren't scary to me. They're just hilarious because none of this stuff really makes any sense.
Well, yeah.
It's so over the top that you gotta laugh at it. But they do their best in trying to scare people, and it sometimes works. That movie wouldn't scare anybody though. It's just so dumb. So in conclusion, incestuous relationships with mothers is really terrible, and something about the house. So you got to go back there on Christmas, so escape and then kill everybody. Didn't work exactly.
Makes sense.
All right. movie. I don't even know who directed it. I'm gonna look that up.
I'm sure. Maybe I'll put it in the show notes so you can find it.
Yeah, I'm about to look it up right now. Here. Good God. Oh. Okay, let's see. Come on, you son of a bitch. Yeah, this is the remake, I guess it was, that it was a TV movie way back then. Yeah. This one was made back in 2006. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it was a sorority house. Okay. Began to murder sorority sisters one by one. I was right the first time. Who directed this bull crap?
Oh, wait, is that the one with, what's her name? She was on Buffy.
Michelle Trachtenberg?
Yeah.
Yeah. Glenn Morgan was the director.
Oh, she really... That was a bad choice for her.
Yeah.
Ah, well.
Oh my God. Looking at these guys is making me remember the whole freaking thing. Oh God.
Okay, so I think that about wraps it up. Mark couldn't make it, but I'm just going to assume he was going to pick Sabrina the Teenage Witch or something. That seems to be his bag. That's why you don't cancel, Mark. But please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the episode. You can follow us on Twitter at King Riptor, on Facebook, facebook.com/robothousepodcasts. You can follow Steve at otakuhenshin.com, and then facebook.com/otakuhenshinonline. And you're Otaku Henshin on Twitter too, right, Steve?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. Next week we're going to do candy, guys, and then I miscalculated, so we got one more week of Halloween. Maybe we'll try to do a commentary, though. I don't know how that's going to work. Because we all need to hear the movie, but you guys can't hear the movie. I'll figure that out, and we will see you all next week.